This is the Holden Acadia. It's a 7-seat SUV that goes up against the likes of Mazda's CX-9. Now, we're running out of time, so what I'm going to do for you is I've compiled a super instant guide to the Holden Acadia, including the things that I think it does better than the rivals, and those things I don't think it does quite as well. Ready? Let's go. This is the Acadia, the SUV that could make Holden great again. It's sort of an Aussie with an American accent, or maybe the other way around. See, it's made in America in Tennessee, and wears a GMC badge there. There it is. And now for the first time ever, it's come to Australia and wears a Holden badge. Oh, hang on, that's the same car they've just photoshopped. Anyway, that Holden badge is there for all to see, like a gentleman with his shirt tucked in and his belt buckle proudly on display. Yep, Arcadia's arrival means the Captiva has been shown the door, so you can say goodbye to that 7-seater. The Arcadia looks big, but at just 2.6 Richard Berries, it's not as long as Mazda's CX-9. I believe that one is called the Worm. What does that mean for space inside? Well, slow down, cowpoke. We'll get there. First, the outsides. The Arcadia has a face like a truck with that giant grille, the big bumper, and the bonnet comes up to here. It's a handsome devil and a bit of a brute, with all its angles and squarely designed bits and pieces. And every now and then you spot a line or a curve and it makes you go, ooh. Like Mazda's CX-9, the Arcadia comes with one of these, an engine. It's not a Turbo 4 like Mazda's, no, it's a 3.6-liter V6 petrol engine. And careful with that, Richard, that's the hot bit. Buyers have a choice of front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Oh, come on, mate, you're embarrassing yourself. People know the difference. You don't have to just get up. People know, but... And the Arcadia has a brake towing capacity of 2,000 kilograms. Look, there it is pulling two 1,000-kilo jet skis. Oh wait, that's the GMC version. Now that's the Holden one. There we go. With the third row up, the CX-9 could fit one Richard Berry. How does the Arcadia do? Yeah, sort of. Now the third row folded starfish test. The CX-9 passed, and so does the Arcadia. Inside, there's accommodation for 7. And wait for it, there's more than enough room to sit 2 Richard Berries comfortably behind a Richard Berry in his driving position. At 191 centimeters tall, you can't do that in a CX-9. We're in the top of the range Arcadia here. It's the LTZV. But the other 2 grades in the range are the LT and the LTZ. All come with a proximity key, 8-inch screen, sat-nav, 3-zone climate control, and air vents everywhere. The Arcadia also has USB ports in all 3 rows. The CX-9 can't match that. All Arcadias come with an impressive array of advanced safety equipment. There's AEB, lane departure warning, rear cross traffic alert, pedestrian and cyclist detection, lane keeping assistance, man, it can even read traffic signs. But no head-up display like in the CX-9. One of the best things about the Arcadia's outsides is that it looks like a truck. One of the worst things about the Arcadia's inside is that it looks like a truck. Sure, if you're going to buy the top-of-the-range LTZV, like we're in here, you get these leather seats. They're heated and ventilated. There's a sunroof with a virtual instrument cluster, and there's an 8-speaker Bose sound system. But apart from that, the cabin looks just like the base grade LT. And this is where I have to tell you, we're a bit disappointed. We're talking about hard plastics that feel yuck, and so do the cheap-looking bits of trim, and styling that's far from refined. The CX-9 cabin runs rings around this. Yeah, so the actual look and feel of the interior isn't particularly nice. I would say the CX-9 has definitely a better look and feel than this. Yeah, look, let's change the subject. Let's drive the car. Ignition button, and away we go. Now, all Holden Arcadias come with a 3.6-litre V6 petrol engine. It's not a turbo. No turbos here, mate. It's a naturally aspirated engine. Now, I know what you're thinking. How much is this going to cost me in fuel? Yeah, look, I don't blame you for thinking that. It's really weird these days for car companies to be offering, fairly large capacity engines like V6s when everybody else seems to be downsizing their engines and adding turbos and still producing quite a lot of power. So yeah, this 3.6-litre V6 is going to be a little bit thirstier than a 4-cylinder, definitely the Turbo 4, which is in the CX-9. This is the front-wheel drive LTZV, and right now it's got 203.9 kilometres on the trip. We've been using it over 2 days of the launch, and the average fuel economy is 10.8 litres per 100. And those are country miles. We've been driving on country roads, like, you know, sometimes with a bit of passion as well, but that's country road mileage as well. That is going to go up in the city, and that is front wheel drive. Now, the official fuel economy figures for all-wheel drive aren't that much higher, but we've been swapping in and out of all-wheel drive cars as well, and I've been seeing 11s and 12s, and again, that's on country roads. That will jump higher in the city. One thing that this car can do, and that is cylinder deactivation. It can drop 2 cylinders, so when you're just cruising along like this at, you know, 80 on a highway, it will drop 2 cylinders from a V6 to 4, and it will run happily on that. And then when you put your foot down, they all join the party again. What you do have from the V6 is quite a lot more power than a CX-9, and that is lovely. What's different to the CX-9 though is where your torque comes in. Now, torque is that force which pushes you back in the seat when you accelerate from the traffic lights. The torque in the V6 comes in really, really high in the rev range. So you have to be really gunning it to really get it to feel like it's giving you a good kick. Whereas in the CX-9, that torque is coming in from about 2,000 RPM, so only from just above idle. So when you sit at the lights in a CX-9 and you put your foot down, it's all there from the get-go. Whereas with this, what are my revs right now? My God, I'm at 3. I'm at 4, 5. Torque's coming in now. Whereas in CX-9, here, this is 2,000. CX-9 full torque is coming in right now at 2,000. So I've got to travel all the way up through the rev range to here to have all torque. Now, that V6 sounds delicious, but at the same time, yeah, it's low down torque is good torque. You want it where you need it, and that is when you're low on the rev range, and you know, it's great for towing and as I said, going up hills and pulling away from a standstill too. There are a few ergonomic issues, like this center console armrest. It's so high. It's like the Great Wall of China. It's just ridiculously high over the transmission tunnel. It's too high. In fact, I feel like I'm sitting like this in it. That's other ergonomic issues. These A-pillars, they are so big, and the way this windscreen is sloped, they do get in the way when you're driving. You are constantly looking around it. Now, something else you should know. The top of the range LTZV has been specially tuned by Holden at their proving ground. Rob Tribbiani is like their wizard of suspension, and he was involved in the suspension tune in the top grade Acadia. They drove it around the track for thousands of kilometres, they shared it amongst their families, and he came up with a tune for the adaptive suspension, which is just sublime. So the LT and the LTZ don't have the adaptive suspension. They didn't have the thousands and thousands of kilometres of testing and tuning here in Australia. So how do they ride? We did have a chance to drive it. I drove one around a section of road which I love, and I've driven all sorts of cars around before, so I know how they all perform. And I've got to say, the LT and the LTZ do not handle as well as this top grade car, and they don't. The ride is not as good either. The ride is still super comfortable, but it's a bit bouncy. It's a bit like being on a space hopper bouncing along, which is not great for handling. Now, if you want to find out how I've managed to get to that score at the end, just pop on over to carsguide.com.au and you can read my full review. I break everything down from design, driving, to practicality and fuel and warranty and everything like that. So it's not just voodoo magic. There's 8 different criterion that I break it down into. And subscribe. That way you can stay on top of all our latest videos. Oh, and hit like. Hit the like button. You like it, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, is the Holden Acadia the car that's going to make Holden great again? I don't know. All that matters to me is that you pick the right car for you. And sure, it doesn't do some things as well as its rivals, but in other ways, it's better.